What's up, guys? Coach Nate and Elizabeth here, showing you how to get tan by the pool. No, we're not doing that. Just kidding. We are going after a cross-training swimming workout for runners. This is going to be your survival guide.
Everything you need to know, technique, tips, and how to get started.
And how to get tan.
And how to get vitamin D.
There we go. There we go.
D.
Perfect. See you in there. All right, guys, so we are in the pool because, hey, we're excited to go swimming. You can see all these little cool little lane lines back down here. So, guys, why are we swimming in the first place? What's going on?
So, runners, I think, tend to get a lot kind of hunched over or just all doing one motion.
Yeah.
Whereas swimming can help build aerobic capacity. It can help with a wider range of motion, work muscles maybe that you're not always working, so muscle imbalances. It can burn a lot more calories too.
You can burn a lot, especially when you are inefficient and you are just grasping for water and sinking. Yeah, it's a great way to do that. And guys, I particularly love the increased range of motion of the upper body, right? We don't do this anymore. It's very rare that we raise our arm overhead when we're at work to ask questions. And we definitely don't do this running, and so our upper back, our shoulders get super stiff. We've talked about how this actually affects your arm swing in a negative way. So starting to get some more range of motion forward back with swimming is such a great thing.
Yep.
Sweet. Guys, in this next piece, Elizabeth, who is actually a former collegiate swimmer and a darn good triathlete, if we don't mind so saying, is actually going to walk us through the personal toys that she uses and give you some recommendations to get started. Okay, guys, so we got Elizabeth here. She has her favorite swim toys for us, and she's going to walk us through, some of the basics that will really be helpful to get started. So what do we got?
All right, so basics are a swim cap and goggles.
Very cool.
Yep, so super easy.
Anything to know about the swim caps? I know they have like silicone, and they've got different like really thin rubber.
Are probably the best.
Yeah, and that's like a little thicker, right? Like you can sort of feel the thickness of this. Doesn't pull in the hair as much. Things like that.
Yep, last a little longer. Don't rip.
There we go.
Paper caps kind of rip. And goggles. So Roka makes my favorite goggles. They have all different shades of lenses. And different sizes for different eyes.
Yeah, and any tricks for trying goggles on? Do you have any things you can think about? Sometimes it's like, I know like you could kind of like stick them on your face, and if they don't like fall off.
Yeah, and checking the nose bridge, because sometimes for people with different size nose bridges,
they can go wider, narrower, and everything else.
That's kind of a good tool. And then a trick, rubbing alcohol to kind of clean your glasses in between. Works pretty well.
What about the old spit? Make sure it doesn't fog up.
That you can do too.
Swimmers are gross people. I just want to say, runners are probably gross too, but they've got their funny things.
Yep. And if you're ever in the pool without goggles and you get like chlorine burn in your eyes, stick a little milk in your goggles when you get home. Put them over your eyes, open up, and the milk will help get rid of the red eyes. You
know where I'm going with this, Elizabeth. What types of milk is best for this?
Even better.
So
all right, there you go.
Amazing.
Those are the basics.
I learned something with Elizabeth. That's so good. So probably the most basic is the goggles, to make sure that, and then the goggle cap combo is really, really good. Cool. And you have something that is also really helpful too. What are these?
All right, next level would be a pull buoy. So this goes between the legs. Nice and easy.
Just there, yep.
Yep.
And basically the idea is that this keeps your hips afloat, because the body can start to sink, the hips and legs go down, but this pull buoy keeps those hips up and keeps you more in this horizontal plane, which I'm told by people who are much better swimmers than me is a good thing to do.
It is a good thing to do. And it's great if you're using this as cross-training, because when you have the pull buoy in, your legs aren't kicking. And so it's all an upper body workout.
There we go. It focuses more on that midline, that core, rotation through the hips, and a lot more pulling through the upper body. Continuing.
Next piece would be fins. So these are kind of the shorter fins, which help build strength in your kick, but also help with ankle flexibility.
Yeah, those are really good there,
I've been told is important for runners.
It is told. Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew? It's really good. Especially your ability to point your toe, which is something called plantar flexion. We're pretty good with this ankle going back this way, but kind of pointing this way is something that we're not as good at. So strengthening those ankles, bringing a little awareness to your kick and a little strength is there. So we got our cap and our goggles, we got our pull buoy, and we have our fins.
Yep.
Cool, so we've gone through the equipment. What do we got next, Elizabeth?
We're gonna go through some basic swim tips and some of the best ways to...
not drown. Not get chlorine in your eyes.
Not get chlorine in your eyes.
All those things. You don't have to do the weird milk trick with your eyes because that's a real last resort situation.
For sure.
Yeah, but guys, Elizabeth, we're going to show you guys some swimming. We're going to show you some good basic swim tips just from a technique perspective so you can start swimming and start having fun.
Yep.
So guys, we got a couple things that we want to talk about. Very basic swim technique. This is definitely a rabbit hole we could go down, but we just want to give you some really helpful things just from the beginning. Let's, why don't we start with just basic position and maybe head position? Sure,
sounds good. So imagine if you're a swimmer in the water, it's best to kind of have your hips up. A lot of times new swimmers, their hips will sink. So you want to work on keeping your hip up. And what helps with that is keeping your head looking down.
Yeah, guys, it's going to feel weird, and sometimes coaches will use a cue of swimming downhill. We don't like putting our head underwater because we like to breathe oxygen. We don't like to breathe the water, we think we're flat, but we're actually not. So kind of pressing your head further down in the water, more neutral, is another way to keep those hips up nice and high.
And where your eyes go, so eyes towards the bottom of the pool.
There we go. That's why they got these beautiful black lines in the pool, so you can stare at them all darn day.
All day long.
Now, as an extension of our body position or head position is probably our kicking. That's probably another thing that controls balance and rotation. So what do we need to do there?
So a lot of new swimmers, when they're kicking their legs, they'll really overbend their knees. In part because they're just trying to keep themselves afloat. So when you do what's called a flutter kick, you just want real tight.
Oh yeah, let's look at that. Yeah, real
tight little movements.
Exactly like those little
your
fingers.
Your legs going like that. So not a lot of bend, just a tiny little bit of bend in the knee. And you're really moving and kicking from your hips, not so much your knees. A lot of new beginner swimmers will kick with their knees instead of with their hips.
That's a fantastic one. Great. So we've talked about body position, head position, legs. We swim with our arms, right? So what are my arms are going to do, right? So there's a million tips we can have, but what's like one of your favorite go-to ones in the beginning?
So high elbows. So you're always going to want to work on, if you've got your head down and you're bringing your hand up, almost imagine putting like your thumb kind of in your armpit.
Oh yeah.
So you're really bringing that elbow up high.
That's what you mean. So if I'm looking at you straight on, that elbow position, we'll show you guys in a second, is going to be nice and high there. What would be the opposite of high elbow?
So what a lot of swimmers do, will do this like around, kind of sludging their stroke around, because that's easier. A lot of times you don't have the shoulder strength and you're not used to it. So if you're just really bringing your elbow up high, and that helps with rotation, and it helps keep your body position correct, and it'll also help then when you go to breathe, so you're not swinging your body up trying to grasp for air.
And really sets you up to push this water back behind, because when I have that high elbow, my forearm is nice and vertical. I can push back this way as opposed to pushing the water straight down. If I push the water straight down, where am I going? Nowhere.
You're not going forward.
Nowhere. You're going nowhere. That's cool. So this next piece, we're actually going to get Elizabeth swimming, and we'll show you what this looks like all together.
Hi guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure and click the like button down below.
That's right here.
Subscribe to our channel. We have so many more videos coming out every week that I know you're going to want to see. Leave us a comment. Let me know what you think of swimming. Runners, get out there. Get wet.
If you like this video, we already like this video, but if you really like this video and you want a free gift on better training, it's not swimming training, but it's everything you need to know to be a stronger runner with better technique, with some basic tools to prevent the most basic injuries. All you need to do is click this link at the end of the video or a link down in the description. It's going to send you to a little page where you can enter your name and email, and I'll be able to send you 2 weeks of free workouts just for you. Crazy. Anyway guys, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you in part 2 in the next video.